wanted to be a banker, I love the way they dressed. So when I got this offer at this new company and they were looking for a receptionist, I said never. And then I scattered everything. And then the guy was so upset. He came, packed his paper on the floor by himself and he took it out. And I knew that, I'm going to be at this reception for the next 20 years. The following week he came and said, how many do you say you need again? I said I wanted 10. He said approved.
And
I did women,
then Christians feel like my hard work will just see the man that works that you not stand before me, man.
Very funny. As if David did not go to meet what's his name?
Even Joseph said, guy, when you get out, tell the king
for me. There is a guy here.
You have a chance to win something huge, and I'm going to tell you at the end of the show something that can catapult your LinkedIn aspirations.
But only if you listen till the end, though.
Yes.
Hi everyone! Welcome back!
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of LifeWork by Design, guys. LifeWork by... So the thing is, we're sorry, yes, we know, right? A lot of people have been, reaching out to Bunmi and me
everywhere, like
separately. Yeah, what's happening? In fact, Bunmi, I had like 2 people tell me, so this is how I think you should do it better. This is how I think you should do it better. Unless we listen to you.
Thank
because
you very much, guys. The feedback was quite good, and we're back to stay.
And one of the feedback we got was that we should always have a guest. I mean, per time. Most times, yeah. And so we thought, okay, why not?
Why not? Let's start.
Yeah.
But you guys, before I bring my guest in, because I have a guest in, that's why we have a guest. But before my guest comes in, guys, we're not even joking this time around. We are back with so much steez. That's what I'm ready now.
Steez, right?
Back with steez. Because if you actually watch through the show, you have a chance to win something huge. And I'm going to tell you at the end of the show, something that can catapult your LinkedIn aspirations.
But only if you listen till the end, though.
Yes.
Only if you listen till the end.
And if you skip to the end, you still will not get it.
You will not go.
But right now, let's take a quick break. And then when we're back, because before going to break, I was telling Dara here, we're talking about a LinkedIn post that we saw. I'm sure it's going to come up on the screen now. But how, and there was this beam light and I was saying how to get a high salary. Okay, you can see it already. Fantastic. And it's looking like if you don't job hop. Yes.
And a lot of millennials and Gen Zs are on that table.
It's look as if you can't grow your career and
until you move places.
Is it true? I'll not lie. I'm a job hopper. I can hop.
I play the fifth.
But the truth of the matter is that there are people that found a good footing and established there, and actually, if you want to go by pop culture, they're established.
Yeah.
Because the before and after. And they grew in that. Is it possible to
actually be in a place and grow along the ranks?
That's what we're discussing today, because we know by design that things are by design. Nothing is like a one shoe fits all. So when we are back talking to somebody that's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Look forward to it. Welcome. Now we're here.
Yeah. They have somebody here.
Yeah.
And there's a fun fact that you should know. It's the fact that so many years ago, all of us were in the same
class, taking the same courses. Mass communication. Yeah, that's true. That's how many years ago now?
First 11, best 11.
Oh my God.
You feel like this, come and hear your...
That was our slogan for graduation. We used to think it's on 4 years.
Don't work hard. That's true. That song was the steez. The steez then.
They said the steez. When is what's changing?
I don't even know.
When is what's changing? That's when we say that's what's up. What do we say back then? So many things just keep wondering. So Moji's here, but
Moji's story is quite an interesting one, and it's one of the reasons we decided. I remember when we were planning this part of the episode, Bunmi requested for Moji. I'm like, Moji is a very busy somebody. We have to ask her, book ahead of time to bring this delectable lady here. I'm our Rainbow Pepper friend.
Yes. How far? Yeah, share your as like who you are. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
But we know Moji has been yellow like this from way back. I mean, I used to call her Escape from her from school. So I said, Moji has been like OG before IG. This is not bleaching. This is clear. See everything clear, clean, crisp.
Now they know.
Pristine.
I know. That's what we're
You see how old pictures are like, trust me, oh my god, the contrast is a lot.
But Dara used to take a lot of pictures.
Oh my god.
She still does.
She
My mom used to give
drag
me money. Like, she'll give me 2K. I'm not even
Yeah,
joking.
Wiki.
Pocket money. She'll not say 2K for your pictures.
Dara used to, and she used to drag me.
That whole picture, Abby.
Yeah, Jaja Hall. You know, like,
I have a lot of
With
pictures.
flowers.
Yeah.
Mommy, we have a picture together.
I feel like I
Moji
have
and
a lot
Lalade.
of pictures
Yeah, me too.
of my early school days. Thanks to
Because of
Dara.
Dara.
You know, she dragged me
It was
along.
like that was my own
Pictures.
like that would drag me to that place.
Yeah.
I know you're not the one where we're walking on the long tarred
yeah.
road,
Yes.
forming, you know, your book and your bag. Oh God.
Unlooking. Unlooking.
Not too.
Like, we're not weird. I know.
So good to have you. So good to have you here. So good to have you here. Thank you so much for obliging us.
Please.
Okay, I was a woman. She's a woman. I just a lady. Moji, how have you been? Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my name is Moji Shofola.
Yeah.
Living my best life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And tell us what you do, like career-wise and stuff.
Well, I'm a career lady. I work for a telecoms infrastructure company.
You hear that?
How it comes to infrastructure.
I love it. Continue, girl.
Sounds very.
Dara is. I don't see anyone as extras. Dara. Yes. So yes, I recently just completed my master's, my MBA at Lagos Business School. So yeah, I'm
Prestigious Lagos Business School.
prestigious Lagos Business
That's how we
School
say it.
with T's.
So easy.
Yeah.
And I can stress you in that. I can testify.
It's, it was an
real.
executive MBA, so
Yeah.
it was quite difficult, especially having to combine it with work. But yeah, glad done and dusted. Graduation later this year.
We show up. We lock everywhere down.
We turn up.
We
turn up.
turn up. Me, I'm going to wear my
turn up.
heels, bro.
So you know, Moji, it's how people say that people that are first kids they don't really work for stuff. Did you understand? I mean that sentence. Yeah, we don't even know what she said.
In fact,
all this growth.
The thing is, it didn't even happen just only in the corporate world. You know, even while in school, for some weird reason, I was a class captain. You guys know, I was a very nice class captain. Class rep. Actually, people didn't realize that I was actually the assistant class rep.
Was it Jubilee?
But my mouth was just louder than the actual class
So you're saying, no, look, the thing, diploma year, Moji was the class rep.
It's when we now
But when we merged into 100 level, she now became the assistant.
class
But
rep.
yet, she was still everybody's
So yeah,
go-to,
I was
think.
louder than the actual class rep. So yes, I mean, there's always been a thing about light-skinned people. I think it's a stereotype. It should actually be talked about. You know, people just assume that you have a certain personality or you have a certain lifestyle,
Or you don't work for what you get. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, or people just think that things happen for you or things
because
just
of your
happen
skin.
because you're light skinned. No,
Like you don't have to work hard for anything in this life.
I work probably harder than most. I mean, I've had my fair share of hustling, if I do say so. You know,
Somebody
but,
was telling
Truthfully.
me, I work hard though. I am a cooking show, yeah.
For non-Yoruba listeners,
Cooking show, yeah.
like, okay, I really work hard. It just doesn't show on my
doesn't
skin.
show
I
on
just
my
don't look like what
skin.
I've been through.
All right. So, you know, you've heard our stories for Dara and I, and all of us finished school like at the same time. And you know, Moji is now a senior manager where she works, right?
Yeah.
And that's like 11 or 12 years down the line since we left school. And you know the catch? The catch is that this 11 or 12 years down the line, Moji has worked in just one place.
Yeah.
yes, I have.
Tell my job. But Moji, tell us your story. You know, because most people feel like the way to grow is to, you know, move. Like you grow by moving.
Place, yeah.
And was it deliberate to say, oh, I love this culture, I love this place, and I want to stay here and grow here?
Absolutely not. I didn't join the company to be there for donkey years. No, that was not the intention. For the longest time, I've always wanted to be a banker, to be honest. So I discovered at some point that this broadcasting thing was not for me.
We all did mass communication. Yeah,
we majored in broadcasting. Yeah, so I knew at some point that this broadcasting wasn't for me, and I wanted to be a banker. You know, I love the way they dressed. You know, I just feel like bankers were always so beautiful. They always talked about so much money. You know, they had to have so much money.
Like your name,
you know? They had to have so much money. I always wanted to be a banker for the longest time, you know, post NYSC and all of that. But, you know, man proposes, but God disposes.
Yeah,
I joined an organization as a front desk officer, receptionist, actually. I struggled with it because during my NYSC, I'd worked as a receptionist, and I'd gone to a bank for an interview, and the lady had said, "Oh no, that they didn't take coppers." That, but she had promised me that once I was done with my NYSC,
Oh,
I
just
should
come
come
here.
back. And she had assured me I'd taken her details and everything. So when I got this offer at this new company and they were looking for a receptionist, I said never. And then my friend called me, convinced me, and all of those things. The truth was I needed to make a decision. It was like a bed in hand for me. I didn't have this bank job yet, and they were paying me. I'm going to say how much they were paying me, just so you know. So they were paying me for my NYSC was 19,800, and where I was working, I was earning 30K. So this company, they had promised they were going to pay me 80K. In fact, the company didn't even tell me. My friend said, "Oh, that they were going to pay up to that." So I wasn't even sure. So, and then I was thinking I was going to finish NYSC in another 1 month. So that means my salary was going to go from 49,800
Okay,
to 49,800.
That's almost 100%
30K.
increase.
Yeah.
So it was going to go from 49,800 to 30K, and then they were offering me 80K, and I'd not even gotten this bank job yet. What if this lady is no longer in the company? I was like, okay, you know what? I'll take this job
While I
and
wait for the
then
bank
I'll
job.
wait for the bank job.
Nice
you know.
move.
So and that was how I started. That's how I got into the organization, and so it wasn't. And again, I didn't plan. Neither did I intend to be there for this long. But yeah, I guess it's the will of God.
So like, it's a beautiful story. You can already see that from receptionist to senior manager. That's like
That's like that's a
that's
book
like
cover.
you know how many
That's a book cover.
and that's of the stairs. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
tell us about it. Is it like you got to the reception and you're like, oh, in this place, it's people that, because I had a colleague who was at the reception and she would tell herself that people that are wearing suits and are carrying bags, they don't have two heads.
Yeah.
And did that happen to you?
So well, they didn't carry suits because again, it was the company had like this kind of like informal setting kind of thing. They were engineers, so they didn't look that serious. But I was you know how the receptionist is. You're right that you know how the reception is. It's almost like you are different from the main office. So there's this door that it's like when the door is what they call it what they call this thing when you almost touch the door then it opens. I'm trying to remember what the word is.
Sensors. Use sensors.
So once you pass through, the door closes. And then I always had this weird thoughts in my head, like, why am I separated from those other people? Like, what are they doing there? And you literally can't see them. So the glasses were closed, they were tinted, you can't see what's going on in the other side. And I always wanted to be on the other side. I think that was one major drive for me. I wanted to be on the other side. I wanted to be where it was happening. Sometimes I heard them laugh, sometimes I heard them, maybe sharing jokes, or I didn't know what they were talking about. It was only when they were going to the restroom or when they were going out that I saw them. And to be honest, the first drive was I needed to be behind that door where it was happening. And I think that was the first for me, really. I needed to be behind that door.
So how did you cross the proverbial glass blockage?
Oh, well, so
The other side.
As they always say, opportunity comes when you least expect it. So they had this very senior British guy who was the CFO at the time. In fact, I'd spoken to everybody that was senior that I wanted to work with them.
Oh, so you started telling people that I actually want to.
I actually reached out. So, but the guys that were there, it was only like the C levels that were engineers. It was mainly the finance team that were there in that office. They had another office somewhere else. So it was only the finance team that were in the section where I was. So, and every time I spoke to them, they'd be like, Moji, you're not a finance person. I don't see where you can fit in. I was okay, fine, don't worry. Let me help you guys run copies. Let me help you guys. And then they would say, okay, fine. But they would have run their copies before they even remember that I was there. And then I went to the CFO guy and I said, that if he had any paperwork, I was happy to help him. And then he would say, okay, I said, very quick to dismiss, And he never gave me anything until one day he gave me like this bunch of files. He wanted me to sort it out and then staple it or bind it or something like that.
Very mundane work.
Very mundane work. I was out of, I don't know if it was excitement. I don't know what it was. I just became jittery. Oh, my people, I scattered the whole paper.
How?
Like you're going to the opportunity.
And there it was. My opportunity went down the drain. So I had put it at the edge of the table, and then I was trying to sort it out one by one. And then the whole thing just came, and then I didn't know how we arranged it. So he wanted me to arrange it the way it was, and then staple it or something like that, or put it in a binder. Yes. And then I scattered everything. And then the guy was so upset. He came, packed his paper on the floor by himself, and he was so upset. He said, no, it's okay. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch my document. And he took it out, and I knew that, I'm going to be at this reception for the next 20 years. Yeah. Well, again.
But did you go apologize to him? What was that like? Like, did he...
No,
and did you feel any kind of? Did you feel like you had sabotaged your opportunity?
Of course, I did. I in fact, I had so much regret that day. You know, I was knocking myself on the head. Like, how could I have? It was just paper. How could I have thrown away this opportunity? You know, this was my chance to get behind the glass door. You know, how could I have done this to myself? That day was, in fact, maybe not just that day. Next 2 days, I couldn't even greet him because I was so embarrassed. You know, and then there was this lady that came, and she was not, so by the time I joined, she had, I think maybe she was on leave, or she had gone on a work trip or something like that. You know, I'd heard about her. You know, she was the head of legal at the time. She was the general counsel for the company at the time. And when she came, she had just come in. I don't know if it was on leave or a work trip. I can't remember which one it was. So when she came, she was like, "Oh, you're the new receptionist." I was like, "Yes, I am." You know, and then I was very happy to see her. I'm always smiling. And then, you know, I tried to ask her questions about herself. And of course, she turned it to me, and she tried to ask me questions too, you know. And somehow I found that we went to the same secondary school, and then went to the same university. So she was like, oh, so every time she was going to the toilet, she would smile at me, and she would greet me and all of those things. So she was the only one that I had not told that I was looking for. She was the only one that I had not told that I was looking for opportunity. So I went to meet her in her office and said, well, she was smiling at me, and I've not poured her paper away. So hopefully she doesn't know my G's that I used to scatter paper. So she's like, oh, really? Are you sure? I was like, yes. And she gave me a document to review. I think I did very well. She did have, there were legal contracts, there were legal documents. And she was like, oh, I should read it. So I should summarize. My summary was a whole book.
Wow.
You know, and then she came back to say that, okay, no, that was a lot of summary. You know, this is how to read it. You know, just pick this, da. You know, and then that's how you do a summary. So yeah, I did the first summary, and then I did the second summary. Oh, that's good. And then that's how I started reviewing legal documents.
From reception still?
Yes, I was still at the reception. So, and then she went to the head of admin at the time to say, look,
I want this girl.
And that was it.
So how did you feel at the time where you now really got behind the glass door? Like, how did you feel? Maybe first time you walked out of the glass door, and then
like first time you come into the office in the morning,
and then you don't have to sit there.
And you see receptionist that she's just there, like, man, that used to be me.
One thing I realized, the first thing is that office was cold.
Oh wow!
So at the reception, I could control the AC. You know, whenever it was too cold,
it was mostly you.
It was just me. You know, but inside the office, it was like, are you guys not cold? Why is this freezing? And everybody looked at me like, it's okay now. The weather is, you know, the temperature is okay. I struggled with that for a while, and it was always so quiet. You could literally hear a pin drop. You know, they were always so busy. So of course, in the beginning, I wasn't always so busy. So I did struggle with that as well. You know, like everyone is doing something, and then I felt like I wasn't doing a lot. Maybe I'd come in, I'd finish my work and all of those things, you know. And then, so it wasn't immediately that, you know, a lot of work came in. But my boss at the time was a go-getter. She just wanted me out of the reception. So even though I wasn't doing a lot, I mean, I could have still been doing what I was doing at the reception. It wasn't a big office, so but she just wanted me to come into the inner office. I mean, for that, I'm always grateful to her for that opportunity. She gave me a chance, I would say. You know, I did make some mistakes along the line, but she did give me chances. I should say that. So yeah, I'm always grateful for that.
So is that the point where you now figured, oh, I like this work, I want to do it for the next 10 years? Or what was that a plan? Did you because some people come into jobs and feel like, oh, I'm not supposed to do like 3 or 4 years and I'm going to go. So I just want you to speak to, what are the factors that a person should look at, for instance, to feel like it's a job I can go into or I can stay at?
Okay, so well, at that initial stage, no. I just wanted to work. That was it, really. I wanted to, because I think the work made me feel important. So I just wanted to have something doing that was not...
You were giving value.
I was adding value. I wanted to feel like I was adding value. That was the objective for me at the time. Tenure, I did it, I thought about it. And I knew that if I added value, there was going to be growth. Now, that was an assumption. Whether it was true or not, I had not tested it at the time. Okay, I just wanted to add value. I wanted to feel important. I wanted my voice to be heard. Okay. Along the line, the structure of the organization changed. Okay, we had to move to our subsidiary company, and we had to go to the local company, the local country company, and we had to integrate. So my boss was moved there. It was a promotion for her, and of course she took me along, myself and another lady. So she took both of us along, and now there was a bigger team, and they were all lawyers. All of them, every one of them were lawyers, and everyone looked at us like, oh, who are these non-lawyers between us? What are they doing? And all of those things. Unlearned, yes, unlearned fellas, So we got to do all of the work on data analytics. I started learning how to use Excel. I was better than all of them anyways. And I was very good with numbers. I'm still good with numbers. Maybe not all legal people, but most times, legal people. They numbers were not really their forte. So I was very comfortable with numbers and all of that. So I'd used that. That was an advantage I had. So I also offered to take everything I had to do with reporting of them. I took everything I had to do with data analytics off them. I took everything I had to do with numbers off them. So
you created value for yourself, created a need for yourself.
Exactly.
Like, this is why you need me. You're not going to wake up one day.
Exactly. So every time they had to do so we used to have legal meetings every week. Every time we had to do legal meetings, so everyone sends in their report to myself and the other lady. So we always put the report in Excel. And they all always struggled with this.
Interpreting the result, the report, and just presenting it.
So they never knew how to fill in the cells properly, and then then maybe summarize it into maybe how many cases were opened, how many cases were closed, and things like that. So they prefer to use their word. But because we also had other part of the business that had to do with numbers, we're talking about leases. You can't talk about leases without talking about the amount, tenure, and all of those things were important factors that needed to be to be reported. Okay, so you need Excel for that. You can't be doing that on Word and then carrying calculator. So Excel seemed like ideal for
those kind of.
There's nothing you want to do on Word that you can't do on Excel.
Yeah.
But there's a number of things you can do on Excel that you cannot do on Word.
Yeah.
So Excel seemed like but then the guys struggled with it. So again, we took that off them. And as the business changed, the dynamics of the business changed. It was required of us to do more things that had to do with leases. Now there was the financial reporting part of it that came in somewhere along the line. Leases became more important than just reporting how many leases did you renew, how many leases did you acquire, and things like that. It became a reporting standard requirement for the business. Okay, to report on how many leases in terms of amount, futuristic information and all of those things. So that was when the IFRS 16 came in. It was a perfect opportunity. The business decided then that, okay, legal couldn't manage all of that any longer. So they needed to create a separate department to handle that. I was the first person that was moved out, so I was already doing all of that. So by the time they moved the leases part from legal department to start a new department that was real estate. So it was real estate department at the time. I was asked to design some of the job descriptions
for who to look for.
Yes, for who to look for. I also had to come up with a lot of processes. I had to draw processes and all of that. And all of this while I was still pretty much a junior staff, and until one day, yes. So again, you said at what point did I realize that, do I want to stay here or not?
There's great potential.
There was a great potential. There was a huge vacuum, okay? And there was a lot of work to be done. And for me, it went from doing a job to I needed to solve a problem. So there was a lot of problem with the way the reporting was done. Even Excel couldn't manage the kind of data that we had at the time and all of those things. So I couldn't even think of leaving. It never even crossed my mind, even though
I'm not. There's so much value to give here.
There's so much value to give here. I wouldn't even dare leave at this time because hey, I'm not
Who will
going to
solve
be
these
the
problems?
person that is going to do half work and leave. I needed to complete it. For me, it was like a project, and I needed to put that team and that work, on a straight path, on track, where things were working seamlessly, and I was not there yet. So that was the driving force for me. I wasn't looking at
ownership mentality. Yeah, that's what I was
so
saying.
I didn't
Ownership mentality.
absolutely.
It's not they're giving me a paycheck. I'm a junior staff.
It wasn't-
Like you got into
This is the problem that we have.
At that time that I was talking about, I was pretty much a junior staff. I mean, I probably earned the lowest that I can think of right now. So the money was not even a driving factor for me. For me, it was value, and it was so important to me that I needed to solve this problem. It was almost like, I was paid to come and solve. I needed to solve that problem.
And your bosses saw this at the time.
Well, you know how you continue to do something in your little corner, you don't realize that you are being
Nobody's actually
seen.
looking at
Absolutely.
you.
I remember one time like that. I think I had seen on a status sometime in 2016. I had seen one of your bosses give you an award.
Yeah. Yeah. It was actually a CEO at the time, and that made me feel so
Must have been,
special.
yeah.
Oh
So
God. And not only that, the guy actually knew my name. And he knew what I did.
Like a global CEO.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a
So
lot.
it was so big for me, bigger than anything that they could have paid me. So it made me feel like I was seen and I was heard, which again from the beginning was what I
you
really
were
wanted.
looking out for,
So one day he just called me and said, "Okay, how you doing?" And I was just telling him all the problems on the work, and then he asked me, "What level are you?" It was almost like even he didn't believe I was on that level.
Like, how can you be handling this level of assignment and
you are.
because open data is sitting in your hand and you're junior staff.
I didn't see it in his face, but the things that happened
after
that
conversation
made me realize that it was a problem. I probably had like 2 meetings with HR the next 1-2 weeks.
Like, upgrade this girl now.
Like,
Because they can
you need a
to have
team.
a junior person be
do all of that work.
Absolutely.
Have all
So
of that
they had,
information.
HR had said, "Okay, you know what? I want to see your JD. Do you not need hands?" I said, "I need hands. How many people do you need?" And then HR told me that, even if you wanted to get a team, maybe like 1 or 2 people. HR had actually told me that maybe like 1 or 2 people. The following week he came and said, "How many do you say you need again?" I said I wanted 10. He said approved. And I literally just mentioned that 10 with the hope that
But then
maybe
we
there's
negotiate
14.
down.
And then he
Like
said,
5.
and then he said, "You can have the 10. I want a JD." And I'm looking like, what is JD? Well, I did come up with it. I did come up with JDs. And then I had a supporting boss as well at the time. They had brought in a new boss and all that. So it was very keen on seeing me grow. It was also very surprised that how could you be on this level and you have all of this information and everything that had to do with leases. It had to be Moji. She has the information. She knows. And I had, luckily for me, I don't know, I had such good memories. We have. You need to just call. You need to just call like a code, and then I'll just tell you the name and the details. So it was almost like, how do you keep all these things in your head? I was literally a walking database. So yeah, so that was good for me. I when the opportunity came, I think it was just
easy, right?
I don't think it was a difficult decision. It was just right that I just fit into it.
And I think from all that you have said, actually, I see quite a lot of factors. From her,
so many.
her passion,
The drive, the going to look for people by herself to say, guys.
being
I want to cross.
hardworking, and looking beyond just the paycheck.
Absolutely.
And then being proactive enough to ask and tell people, please, I want to be at the other side, if you have any opportunities.
I don't think there's anyone that don't speak to.
And that's very good. See how women
Speak up for yourself.
we just feel like, let me just be in this corner. Nobody should.
Especially women, we do that thing a lot.
Yeah.
We
women,
do.
then Christians, we feel like my hard work will just see a man that works out, you're not standing for me, man. stand
Very
for me.
funny. As if David did not go to meet him. What's his name?
Even Joseph said, guy, when you get out, tell the king.
for me.
I
There
can
is a guy here.
No, to balance it, there's a place where sometimes your work. So no, now by the time she crossed inside and she started doing her work, she stopped going out to say, "I'm doing a lot of work, promote me."
Now
She
the
didn't
work
do that.
is speaking for
The
itself.
work now has to speak for itself. So that's the balance. Like there's a part where you keep knocking until this door opens. Then when the door opens,
better bring value that
bring value that makes it worth it. Person open the door for you should not be wondering. Don't make a mistake.
For someone that is listening and is thinking, maybe I got to the other side and I'm doing a lot of work.
Nobody's saying it.
Yes, nobody has seen. There's still going to be I feel like, of course, there's going to be a part to this.
Yeah, we discussed that because sometimes
Sometimes
symptoms
not always,
symptoms are not for, like in our own case now. It was clear that in this place
It was even a growing
It was a
company.
growing company.
It was a growing
growing
company.
along with it.
Yes,
I
and then
was.
there was that. She was talking about how our bosses were supportive at some point, how the gaps were showing. So the system where you're even trying to take on work, they don't trust. They don't have enough trust to let you go. So I think we should have somebody over, maybe understand that kind of system as well. But there's quite a lot of gem from Moji's story.
Yeah, very.
Because thinking about it, it's understandable that she stayed that long. Because at every point, there's a new level of problem to solve.
There is, yeah.
So the thing is, in these 12 years, there's no how you won't have had opportunities to move. Like, people will have brought offers your way. Or maybe you
Employers will slide into your DM on LinkedIn.
Maybe you had like opportunities, or maybe you hear of a colleague or something.
Yeah, of course.
Did you have to make decisions? What drove the decision to say, I'm still going to stay here?
Well, of course, I've received a few DMs, especially at the beginning part of my career and all of those things. But I think I count myself lucky to have worked with an organization that has provided an opportunity for growth for me.
Let's go.
Yeah, I've learned a lot of things. Again, opportunities.
Yeah.
I've developed myself in the process. You know, I just recently concluded my MBA at Lagos Business School. So, you know, they have given me, because it's not every opportunity, it's not every organization that
has
gives
such
that.
investments.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not every
Your
organization that
personal
gives that.
development.
You know,
Yeah,
room
true.
for personal development. I've taken courses, short courses, you know, on personal development. So yes, for now, I'm still happy with where I am, you know, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that are still there, you know, the growth even within the business. And
So it's looking to me like when you come to those junctures where opportunities are coming and you're considering how much can they offer me that will match the impact I'm having here? How much are
absolutely.
they offering me that will match the opportunity for growth and development here? Do I feel like, I know, so what I was talking to when I was starting my career about learning years and earning years, like if you want to jump the rope and just want to go and start earning big stuff before you've learned, like understand the place where
Absolutely.
it's a place where I can
Yes.
become fully rounded and just don't rush off from that kind of place. So that you are so rounded that by the time you now want to like push for, you
Higher
have every
stuff.
right, you have
You have something to stand on. You're not
Yeah.
just coming with
With
this
fluff.
person has been paying
Yeah.
big money, but you have nothing. So you also want to be grounded in your experiences, in your tact. You want to know. You actually want to know the skill. You know, I'm grinding towards general management. Okay, you know, managing a lot of things at the same time, projects and things like that. So yeah, that's where I'm carving for myself eventually. But and I think that where I am currently is giving me
Gives you
the
the
opportunity
opportunity
to own
push for that.
Yes.
So the mix is very interesting. It's a mix of personal drive and a good environment
That makes you
supportive
thrive.
people and just opportunities to thrive and identifying it. Because actually, do you know that interesting thing? She has described the organization. There are like moments when it's like they felt like
So tell us one of the moments where you felt like, who sent me? Who sent me, Gongo?
There were a lot of moments.
Haven't you done enough? What is
There
it?
were a lot of moments.
So, yeah.
You know, I shared with you guys one when we're off air.
Yeah.
You know, it's at the beginning part was stressful.
Especially working with lawyers, even though there are terms, you have to understand it.
I had to. Sometimes they'll laugh at me, you know, but I didn't get angry about those things. I mean, it never even bothered me. I don't think I've ever gotten angry in a place of learning. So far as learning occurred, yes, every anger is suspended. You know, even when I say the wrong thing
That's
and
such-
everyone bursts into
That's such a
laughter.
humble
Yes.
posture to take.
your
Intellectual
God.
humility.
Yeah, so even when because
yeah.
sometimes yes, I did make some blunders, legal blunders. Yeah, they're very quick to laugh at me, but I would say that eventually most of them now they began to give me the grace, you know. So the way they encouraged me, they went from laughing at me to correcting me to, you know, send me a message. Oh no, that was the wrong term. This is the correct term.
Okay,
so it was
privately
like,
now.
yeah, so it was
That's
almost
really
like
nice.
they took me as
Encouraging.
part of them.
Acceptance happened after a while.
Thank you.
Wow,
so it was
so
almost because I wasn't gonna give up. They knew I wasn't gonna give up. It's okay, laugh at me, shall correct me and tell me the correct thing. Let me know what it is. So yeah, I think it did feel good, you know, to and now, you know, when I talk to them, they say, Moji, don't worry, we know what you're talking about. It's okay. Oh, you're fine. Let's listen to you. So there's no that place of putting you're not even a lawyer. What are you saying? No, we have passed that level, you know. So there's a place of mutual conversation and understanding.
Okay.
If my legalese is wrong, you shall understand the common sense of what I'm saying. You know, as somebody will say, before legal is first common sense. Before you now talk legal. So yeah.
And then when you look back, do you feel like you've been disadvantaged in any way when you compare yourself with your peers that maybe job
up and down?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
My God.
I don't think my peers. I don't think I'm doing badly.
Yeah.
There are some people that I also look up to and say, you should always have
People like that.
but
Yeah.
do I feel disadvantaged? No, I don't think disadvantage is the word. I did feel at some point, in my life, somewhere at the start, but not anymore. Now I think I'm more in a place of gratitude. Yeah, I think I'm more in a place of gratitude now, and the sky is a starting point.
Yeah.
Okay, so Moji, before you go, I just want to talk really briefly. Saying if it's someone that just starting out their career, like in the middle, and they're thinking at the point where they're trying to decide to stay here or to go, what are the key virtues the key principles that you see? Maybe there's like 2 or 3 that you feel like these are critical. That you feel like what makes a person indispensable? That you feel like, because the story you've told, the story of actually just making yourself indispensable to the organization, that they have to grow you by force. What they do was to suspend policies and laws to say, doesn't matter how many years this person has to grow.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what. So, what would you advise, like in a nutshell, like 2 or 3 lines to say a principle and to work
The first thing for me would be value. You have to bring value. You have to bring value to whatever it is that you're doing. You, no matter how expensive you think you are, no matter whatever you think you know. So, and then people also have entitlement spirits. They feel like, I've been there for 20 years. They're not. What's the value?
Yeah, but in 20 years.
Exactly.
It's not even the years.
It's not even the years. It's the value. And you can bring value in 1 year. You can bring value in. So it's not even about the time, but you have to have a mindset of giving value. I think that is number 1 for me. And and it's again, another thing would be that your personal drive. Now, I have a personal drive. Maybe everyone may not be like me, but you have to have something in you that's pushing for excellence. I'm driven by excellence. I don't like to see things not going well, and I don't like to see things half-baked. It's like it bothers me. Why is that?
Let's finish it.
Let's finish it. I don't like to see half work. So now these are my own personal values. So I think that you should gun for excellence. In whatever it is that you do. Whether you're in a small room, whether you are under a shed, so long as you are excellence driven, the sun will shine on you. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So lastly, before you go, very, very soft questions. We're just going to ask you like very random questions. Just away from the corporate.
Bumi's hands for me.
Very, very soft questions.
And it was making me worried, like, oh my God, what she wants to ask.
Soft questions. Rice and beans or chicken and chips?
Rice and beans. Chicken and chips.
Movie in-house or cinema?
House.
Nah. So, no, that one is both. It depends.
On who you're going to the movies with.
What the movie is.
So I like movies generally. So depending on the ambience, the venue, the companion determines in-house or
It's Moji's voice for me, depending on the
companion. Game night at home or night out on the streets.
Game night at home.
Game night at home. What else would come?
She's a home girl,
Home girl.
Home girl.
All right, guys, that's Moji. It's been so much fun chatting with her.
Thank you.
And
I had so much fun.
And thank you for coming. I'm very proud of you.
So, guys, I have a
well
question
done.
for you. If you watch this point, you can actually win a free photo shoot, like professional photo shoot.
Hey, go that big.
From us at LifeWork by Design. You're going to have to tell us a couple of things, though.
Yeah.
Just 3 questions. How many years has Moji stayed at current role?
If you didn't listen well, you will not get it.
What was her starting salary when she began this job?
Because she actually mentioned it for real. She did.
She mentioned it. She went to 2 schools with her first boss.
Yeah.
I know that she didn't mention a particular name of the school, but what kind of schools were those schools? If you can put it in the comment section, you're correct, then let's
Or what level was the educational period?
I'm not thinking.
Cause guys, it's really important that you know that you're engaging. And then if you have stories like you know someone that has and done amazing things in their career, or someone that is really pushing it, or you feel like your story needs to be heard. Of course, mention it. If we look at it and feel like, oh, this is worth it. Because what we do at LifeWork by Design is just, bring to the fore the fact that you cannot wait for life to happen to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You cannot wait for life to happen to you. You have to be deliberate
about stuff,
the outcomes that you desire and putting in the work. They say that luck is opportunity that means preparation.
True.
And that's what we are all about at LifeWork by Design. God designed you intentionally. And in that design, success was there. It's a function of you reaching for it or you waiting for it. It seldom comes to those who wait, but always comes to those who refuse to give up. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you guys
I've been
for
inspired.
having
Even
me.
this closing remark by Bunmi, oh God, I'm highly
Dara.
inspired. I
Guys,
hope you
By the way, Dara's always been this extra.
always
Been this extra. Always been this extra.
I love you.
All right, see you next time.
All right, have a good day.
All right, thank you for joining us. Bye.